Good evening, and thank you for joining us for the Genesee-Finger Lakes Regional Planning Council's webinar on NYSERDA's Clean Energy Communities Program 3.0. A few notes before we get started. All participants are muted and cameras turned off. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the chat box. We'll address them at the conclusion of this presentation. If you have a municipality-specific question, please reach out offline. I'll be happy to speak with you. The slide deck being used for tonight's webinar is not just informative, but also a great tool to navigate the NYSERDA Clean Energy Communities website. It contains dozens of hyperlinks that will take you directly to the page or information you're looking for. This webinar is being recorded. The slide deck and a link to this recording will be sent out to everyone who registered. Please feel free to share both resources. Lastly, special thanks to our colleague at Genesee-Finger Lakes, Jenny Lowenstein, for running the slide deck for tonight's presentation. Next slide, please. My name is Rob Richardson, and I am the Clean Energy Communities Coordinator in the Genesee-Finger Lakes region. I have a bachelor's from the University of Hartford in Politics and Government and a master's in Public Administration from the College of Brockport. In my previous role, I served as the Assistant City Manager in Canandaigua, New York. As Assistant City Manager, I was tasked with overseeing the city's environmental initiatives. During my tenure, I guided the city to both a Clean Energy Communities designation as well as a Climate Smart Communities Bronze certification. This gives me a unique perspective and allows me to understand both the municipal side and the programmatic side of the CEC and CSC programs. Over the last 3 years, I've used that knowledge and experience to help other communities in our region achieve their clean energy and sustainability goals while reducing the cost of providing services to taxpayers. Next slide, please. The first round of the Clean Energy Communities program started back in August of 2016 with two main goals: helping municipalities across New York State save money and reducing their utility consumption. As this graphic demonstrates, the initial offering of the CEC program was well received, garnering 600 participating communities, 323 of which became designated, and completing a total of 1,866 high-impact actions. Next slide, please. The initial offering of the CEC program ran until January 26, 2021, when Round 2 of the CEC program, the Leadership Round, launched. With the addition of new high-impact actions and expanded funding opportunities, more communities engaged the program, increasing participation statewide. During the Leadership Round, 293 new communities began their CEC journey, 218 new communities earned designation, and an additional 2,005 high-impact action items were completed. Next slide, please. During the Leadership Round, our region saw a substantial increase in participation. In less than 3 years, we added 43 new communities, 30 newly designated communities, and completed 253 high-impact actions. These actions helped communities in the Finger Lakes earn $710,000 in match-free grant funding, making it possible to complete projects and purchase equipment the community may not have been able to afford otherwise. Seeing an opportunity to capitalize on this increased interest and to help more communities access match-free funding, NYSERDA recalibrated the program and released Clean Energy Communities 3.0. Next slide, please. On December 13, 2023, NYSERDA released the revamped CEC 3.0 with a total of $25 million in match-free funding available statewide. Regional allocations have been removed, so the $25 million in funding is first come, first served, with additional incentive for municipalities ready to move quickly. New and expanded high-impact actions provide more points of entry into the program, including some high-impact actions with achievement tiers, offering even more points, funding, and opportunities for communities. In addition to removing the funding caps on grant applications for disadvantaged communities, there is now bonus funding that could cover up to 50% of a project implemented in a DAC. NYSERDA has also streamlined the grant application process, with awards of less than $30,000 no longer requiring a formal contract, unless it's a custom project or the project requests a CEC energy study. The biggest change, however, is the addition of multiple designation levels. In the first 2 rounds of the program, completing any 4 high-impact actions earns you a Clean Energy Communities designation. While that option still exists, there are now 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star designations based on the total points accumulated by a community. In addition to the multiple levels of designation, you'll also notice the substantial increase in match-free funding awarded for achieving those milestones. While reaching some of these point totals may seem impossible, CEC 3.0 is structured so that any community in New York State can access tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in match-free funding. You'll also notice that these award levels are only available through September 30th, 2024. NYSERDA is incentivizing municipalities to move quickly over the next 9 months, and those who do will receive higher levels of funding for any level of designation achieved by that date. Next slide, please. This slide shows what the funding levels will be for designation levels achieved October 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025. While these are smaller than what is available through the end of September, they are still much larger awards than were available in the leadership round. Again, all funding in CEC 3.0 is first come, first served. Next slide, please. This slide lists the high-impact actions that are included in CEC 3.0, including the point totals awarded for completion. As we go through them, you'll notice each is scored a little differently. Actions with a set number of points, like code enforcement training and electric landscaping equipment, are single-level action items. Others, such as make-ready and thermal energy networks, are multi-step actions where the community is awarded points after completing required steps. One big change to the program is the inclusion of high-impact actions with tiers, such as clean fleets and renewable energy, which reward communities for doing additional work and/or exceeding benchmarks. For those familiar with the leadership round, you'll notice immediately there have been substantial changes to these HIAs. There is only one action, LED streetlights, that has remained unchanged from the previous round. Everything else available is either brand new, been tweaked, or been substantially modified. Let's take some time to discuss each of these actions. Next slide, please. One of the new high-impact actions in the program is Build Ready. The NYSERDA Build Ready program advances large-scale renewable energy projects on underutilized land, such as brownfields, landfills, former industrial sites, parking lots, and abandoned or existing commercial and industrial sites. Working with local partners and stakeholders, the Build Ready program takes difficult sites and makes them quote-unquote build ready for private renewable energy developers to ultimately construct and operate. The Build Ready program carries out the project design, engineering, permitting, and electric grid interconnection activities, as well as developing a project host community benefit package. Once the site has reached specific development milestones, the Build Ready program runs a competitive request for proposal to award and transfer the project to a private developer for final design, financing, construction, ownership, and operation to procure Tier 1 Renewable Energy Certificates, or RECs. Nomination of a site to NYSERDA for the Build Ready program earns the community 100 points. If the site is ultimately selected, the community would earn an additional 700 points for a possible total of 800 points. Next slide, please. Energy Code Enforcement Training provides free training on the current New York State Energy Code. The training walks code compliance officers through best practices for energy code enforcement in new construction, as well as both commercial and residential renovations. Completing the training gives the communities the opportunity for significant energy savings and improved code compliance, while the code officer earns hours towards their annual training needs. This is the same version of code enforcement training that was offered during the leadership round. Unlike the previous round, however, code enforcement training is now worth 300 points. The next opportunity to complete this high-impact action will be March 7th in Brighton, New York. A registration link will be sent out shortly. Next slide, please. With the addition of New York Green Bank financing, The CPACE High Impact Action from the leadership round has expanded to become green financing in CEC 3.0. CPACE financing provides a low-cost, long-term alternative to traditional loans to fund clean energy projects in commercially owned buildings. Financing is available for up to 100% of the project cost or can be combined with other financing. Repayment is secured through a benefit assessment lien that is subordinate to municipal taxes. Only counties and cities are eligible to enact CPACE. However, once a county has enacted CPACE, it is available to every community within that county. As a state investment fund that collaborates with private investors, New York Green Bank plays a unique role in New York's transition to a green economy written into law under the 2019 Climate Act. New York Green Bank uses public capital to mobilize private investment into underserved green sectors while advancing public climate targets. New York Green Bank can provide $5 to $50 million in financing for projects that are located in or serving the jurisdiction of a municipality. Communities may partner with clean energy and sustainable infrastructure project developers to encourage them to apply for CPACE or New York Green Bank financing when traditional lenders are not available to support their projects. The goal is to encourage private developers, with the help of municipal support, to apply directly for market rate financing through CPACE or New York Green Bank to promote the development of clean energy projects statewide. If an eligible community enacts CPACE financing, it earns 200 points. If developers utilize CPACE to fund a project in a community, that municipality earns 400 points. If developers utilize New York Green Bank to fund a project in a community, that municipality can earn 400 points. Next slide, please. The Clean Energy Upgrades and Municipal Buildings Demo Action positions municipalities to save energy and money by replacing old equipment with new, more efficient technologies or through renewables, such as solar and wind. This action also creates opportunities for municipalities to share these projects with community members. Because the action is so large, it's been broken into two separate parts: clean energy upgrades and municipal building demos. Next slide, please. Where the goal of clean energy upgrades has always been to reduce municipal emissions by 10%, CEC 3.0 has expanded the points available to communities based on the actual reduction the upgrade achieves. As the graphic shows, a reduction of 10% will earn a community 500 points. If that project achieved a 15% reduction, it would be eligible for another 200 points. If the project achieved a reduction of 20% or more, it would be eligible for an additional 300 points, totaling 1,000 points. Next slide, please. A new resource has become available to help communities fund clean energy upgrade projects: elective pay. Included in the Inflation Reduction Act, elective pay, also known as direct pay, makes tax-exempt and governmental entities such as states, local governments, tribes, territories, and nonprofits eligible to receive the same tax credits for qualifying clean energy projects and electric vehicle purchases as consumers. Unlike competitive grant and loan programs, direct pay allows entities to get their payment if they meet the requirements for both direct pay and the underlying tax credit. There are 12 different tax credits municipalities are now eligible for, and a link has been included at the end of this presentation to provide additional information on the elective pay program and process. Next slide, please. NYSERDA has also expanded the points available for municipal building demos. These allow communities to showcase the energy-efficient technologies they've implemented in their municipal facilities. After installing either air or ground source heat pump systems on at least one municipal building that is 1,000 square feet or larger and open to the public year-round, an educational kiosk will be set up sharing information on the technologies being implemented, why that technology was chosen, benefits the municipality is seeing, and sharing information about NYSERDA programs that can help residents implement similar projects in their homes. The recently renovated or built building must be owned or operated by the local government and must utilize the new technology as the building's primary heating, cooling, and hot water system. Next slide, please. Completing a clean heating and cooling demo in a municipal facility of less than 15,000 square feet will earn a community 700 points. If the facility is larger than 15,000 square feet, the community will earn an additional 1,000 points for a total of 1,700 points. If the municipality chooses to go a step further and make a building net zero, there are additional points available. If the building is less than 15,000 square feet, the community will earn 700 points for the clean heating and cooling demo and 500 points for being a net zero building for a total of 1,200 points. If the building is more than 15,000 square feet, the community will earn the full 1,700 points for the clean heating and cooling demo and 1,300 points for being a net zero building for a total of 3,000 points. If the community has a municipal swimming pool that runs on a heat pump, that demo will earn the community 100 points. Next slide, please. NYSERDA has also expanded the renewable energy high impact action with new options for communities. Any community that uses community solar or CDG for municipal operations can earn 300 points for submitting a bill showing an active account. Municipalities can also earn 700 points if 100% of their municipal load is met by retired energy certificates, or RECs. The certificates must be retired through the New York State Generation Attribute Tracking System, or NIGATS, and all the renewable energy needs to be generated in New York State to qualify. Next slide, please. One of the new opportunities for communities to earn points in the CEC program is through either hosting a clean energy generation site on municipal land or housing a clean energy generation installation owned by the municipality. As this graphic shows, communities can earn anywhere from 400 to 3,600 points for completing this action depending on the path chosen and the kilowatts generated annually. The installation must have begun generating power on or after January 26, 2021 to be eligible. Next slide, please. Another new high-impact action in version 3.0 is thermal energy networks. A thermal energy network uses a network of pipes to connect multiple buildings together, often including a large anchor like a college, university, or hospital, to thermal sources and sinks, such as geothermal, surface water, waste heat, and the air to provide space heating, cooling, and domestic hot water. When implemented, this technology is an extremely effective way for municipalities to reduce emissions. Communities who complete a thermal energy network feasibility study through the NYSERDA FlexTech program and contribute at least $5,000 to the study will earn 500 points. Should the community issue an RFP for the development of a thermal energy network, they will receive an additional 500 points for a total of 1,000 points. A link has been included at the end of the slide deck to NYSERDA's FlexTech program page with additional information and requirements. Next slide, please. By replacing conventional streetlights with energy-efficient LED technology, communities can reduce streetlight energy use by 74%, generating significant cost savings and emissions reductions. Because streetlight electricity is typically a municipal expense, these projects provide a substantial opportunity to cut costs in the municipal budget. LED streetlights last much longer and require much less maintenance than conventional streetlights. For communities on the fence on completing this action, we can provide a cost analysis report outlining the energy and cost savings that come with the potential conversion to LEDs. The LED streetlights action requires communities to convert at least half of its streetlights and/or decorative fixtures to LEDs. With communities with less than 20 fixtures, a minimum of 10 fixtures must be converted. The conversion of 50% or more of the streetlights is worth 700 points, while converting the decorative fixtures can earn you another 200 points. In total, a possible 900 points is available for this action. Next slide, please. One of the high-impact actions that was overhauled for CEC 3.0 is benchmarking. In the leadership round, adopting the benchmarking legislation and completing advanced reporting were two distinct steps worth a total of 300 points. To streamline this process, NYSERDA has combined both high-impact actions into one. While the action is still worth 300 points, there is an additional incentive for communities who complete benchmarking, a free CEC energy study on a municipal building of the community's choosing. Cities, towns, and villages with more than 40,000 residents also have the ability to pass legislation requiring private buildings, such as commercial and multifamily buildings of 25,000 square feet and larger, to benchmark their energy use as well for an additional 1,500 points. In total, benchmarking can earn a community up to 1,800 points. Next slide, please. The Clean Fleets HIA has been expanded in CEC 3.0 to encourage communities to explore fleet electrification. In addition to earning points for light-duty and medium to heavy-duty road vehicles, communities can also earn points for light-duty and medium to heavy-duty non-road vehicles. A light-duty road vehicle will earn the community 300 points, and a medium to heavy-duty road vehicle will earn the community 600 points. A light-duty non-road vehicle will earn the community 200 points, and a medium to heavy-duty non-road vehicle will earn the community 700 points. NYSERDA has also incentivized communities to expand their fleets by including tiers for light-duty vehicles. If a community purchases 2 additional vehicles, or 3 in total, they will meet Tier 2 and earn an additional 500 points. If they purchase 3 additional electric vehicles beyond that, or 6 in total, they will earn an additional 700 points for a total of 1,500 points. Through elective or direct pay, communities are now eligible to claim a rebate of up to $7,500 per electric vehicle purchased. Communities can earn anywhere from 200 points to 3,000 points for the EV component of Clean Fleets. Next slide, please. In this round, NYSERDA has also incentivized communities to build out their EV infrastructure network. In addition to adding tiers for installed charging stations, additional points will now be awarded for the implementation of DC fast chargers. Communities that install 2 level 2 ports will receive 200 points. If they install an additional 4 ports, or 6 total, they will receive an additional 400 points for a total of 600 points. If they install an additional 10 ports, or a total of 16, they will receive an additional 600 points for a total of 1,200 points. Communities who install 1 DC fast charging port will receive 500 points. If they install an additional 2 ports for a total of 3, they will receive an additional 800 points for a total of 1,300 points. If the community chooses to install 3 additional ports for a total of 6, they will receive an additional 1,200 points for a total of 2,000 points. In total, communities can earn anywhere from 200 to 3,700 points for this component of Clean Fleets. Next slide, please. While the CEC program focuses on municipal energy and emissions reductions, the Climate Smart Communities program includes that and much more. Facilitated by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, the CSC program includes items for things like community education and engagement, smart materials management, land and source water protection, flood mitigation, and plans to help leaders build resilient communities. One of the coolest requirements of the CSC program is the formation of a Climate Smart Communities Task Force to help drive the initiative. These community groups are often comprised of volunteers, environmentalists, business owners, elected officials, community stakeholders, or an existing advisory council that can champion the CSC and CEC programs. This program provides a fantastic opportunity to get your local climate advocates involved and create a strong relationship between municipal staff and community leaders. Communities earning a bronze designation will receive 800 points. Communities receiving a silver designation will receive 1,400 points. Communities who were previously certified but must reapply to maintain their CSC certification are eligible to submit their approved renewal application for credit. Next slide, please. This graphic provides a visual representation of the relationship between the CEC and CSC programs. All items in the CEC program directly carry over to the CSC program for credit. So as your community is moving forward in one program, it's actually moving forward in both. Many communities are surprised to find that they are already completing elements of the CSC program in day-to-day operations and are much further ahead than anticipated. My colleague at Genesee-Finger Lakes, Rachel Scudder, serves as our region's CSC coordinator and is a fantastic resource. Like me, the services and support she provides communities through the CSC program come at no cost to the community. I've included her contact information at the end of the presentation for anyone interested in learning more about the CSC program. Next slide, please. Community choice aggregation allows municipalities or groups of municipalities to obtain renewable energy for the entire community at a fixed rate. This is an opt-out program and can take anywhere from 7 to 18 months for communities to complete. Interested municipalities are connected with a local administrator who can negotiate lower prices from the utility companies by pooling electricity and consumer buying power. The third-party administrator also provides the admin and technical support for the municipality, so the burden of facilitating the program does not fall on staff. For CEC 3.0, NYSERDA has expanded the Community Choice Aggregation High Impact Action to include agreements with a 50% renewable default supply. Communities who sign their CCA agreement for 50% renewable default supply on or after January 1st, 2023 are eligible to earn 500 points for this action. Communities who signed a CCA agreement for 100% renewable default supply on or after January 1st, 2023 are eligible for an additional 1,500 points for a total of 2,000 points. Next slide, please. Community scale campaigns are an effective way to encourage residents to consider new, innovative technologies that generate value and savings for consumers while advancing New York's clean energy goals. There are 3 community campaigns available through this high impact action: community solar, electric vehicles, and clean heating and cooling. Encouraging residents to implement these technologies can help lower their energy bills and reduce harmful emissions while making homes and businesses more comfortable. Successful completion of community campaigns not only earns the municipality points, but also match-free grant funding. Each of the 3 community campaigns has tiers. The number of participants required to complete a tier and the grant funding awarded are determined by the size of your community. A NYSERDA scoping document must be submitted to and approved by NYSERDA before a community campaign can launch. Participants will only be credited after the date the scoping document is approved. This graphic illustrates the achievement tiers for community solar campaigns. For communities of less than 40,000 residents, 10 subscribers are needed to complete Tier 1. This would earn the community 200 points and a match-free $5,000 grant. Getting another 50 subscribers, or 60 total, would earn the community another 200 points and $10,000 in match-free funding for a total of 500 points and $15,000. If the campaign attracted another 100 subscribers, or 160 in total, the community would earn an additional 500 points and $20,000 for a total of 1,000 points and $35,000 in match-free grant funding. For communities of more than 40,000 residents, 25 subscribers are needed to complete Tier 1. This would earn the community 200 points and a match-free $15,000 grant. Getting another 100 subscribers, or 125 in total, would earn the community an additional 300 points and $30,000 in match-free funding for a total of 500 points and $45,000. If the campaign attracted another 250 subscribers, or 375 in total, the community would earn an additional 500 points and $60,000 in grant funding for a total of 1,000 points and $105,000 in match-free funding. Next slide, please. This graphic illustrates the achievement tiers for electric vehicle campaigns. Only vehicles that are purchased new can count towards a campaign. For communities of less than 40,000 residents to complete Tier 1, 5 residents must purchase an electric vehicle. This would earn the community 200 points and a match-free $5,000 grant. If another 15 residents purchased vehicles, or 20 in total, the municipality would complete Tier 2 and earn another 300 points and $7,500 in match-free funding for a total of 500 points and $12,500. If the campaign attracted another 50 residents to purchase vehicles, or 70 in total, the community would earn an additional 500 points and $15,000 for a total of 1,000 points and $27,500 in match-free grant funding. For communities of more than 40,000 residents to complete Tier 1, 10 residents must purchase an electric vehicle. This would earn the community 200 points and a match-free $15,000 grant. If another 50 residents purchased electric vehicles for a total of 60, the municipality would complete Tier 2, earn an additional 300 points, and a $25,000 grant for a total of 500 points and $40,000. If the campaign attracted another 100 residents to purchase electric vehicles, or a total of 160, the community would earn an additional 500 points and $40,000 for a total of 1,000 points and $80,000 in match-free grant funding. Next slide, please. This graphic illustrates the achievement tiers for clean heating and cooling campaigns. For communities of less than 40,000 residents to complete Tier 1, 5 residents must install an air or ground source heat pump or heat pump hot water heater in their home. This would earn the community 500 points and a match-free grant of $5,000. If another 10 residents install a qualifying technology, or 15 total installations, the municipality would complete Tier 2 and earn another 600 points and $10,000 for a total of 1,100 points and $15,000 in match-free funding. If the campaign attracted another 15 residents to install a qualifying technology, or 30 in total, the community would earn an additional 700 points and a $20,000 grant for a total of 1,800 points and $35,000 in match-free grant funding. For communities of more than 40,000 residents to complete Tier 1, 10 residents must install an air or ground source heat pump or a heat pump hot water heater in their home. This would earn the community 500 points and a match-free grant of $15,000. If another 20 residents install a qualifying technology, or 30 total installations, the municipality would complete Tier 2 and earn another 600 points and $30,000 in match-free funding for a total of 1,100 points and $45,000. If the community attracted another 30 residents to install a qualifying technology for a total of 60 qualifying installations, the community would earn an additional 700 points and $60,000 for a total of 1,800 points and $105,000 in match-free grant funding. Communities of less than 40,000 residents can accumulate 3,800 points and a total of $97,500 for achieving all 3 tiers in each of the community campaigns. Communities of more than 40,000 residents can accumulate 3,800 points and a total of $290,000 for achieving all 3 tiers in each of the community campaigns. Next slide, please. County-hosted trainings is designed to provide benefits to both participating communities and the counties hosting the offerings. By hosting these trainings, a county can earn points in the CEC program. To earn credit, a municipal staff member, elected official, or member of an official municipal board or committee from at least 35% of the municipalities in the hosting county must attend. While only counties can complete this HIA, there are benefits to participating communities. All 4 courses are delivered by expert trainers provided by NYSERDA free of charge, and the courses are designed to help municipalities understand how to manage responsible clean energy development in their communities. These trainings provide continuing education hours and in-service learning required for elected officials and municipal staff, and all trainings are eligible for continuing education credit for Planning Board and Zoning Board of Appeals members, subject to approval by the municipality. Each successfully completed training will earn the county 300 points for a possible total of 1,200 points. Next slide, please. Another new high-impact action in the CEC program is electric landscaping equipment. Landscaping equipment for municipal operations is a significant contributor to operational emissions, noise, and other pollutants. Municipalities can earn points for purchasing electric landscaping equipment, such as lawnmowers, leaf blowers, and trimmers that save at least 5 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent annually. Successful completion of this high-impact action will earn a community 200 points. Next slide, please. The final high-impact action of CEC 3.0 is also a new one, the Municipal Clean Fleets Inventory. Municipalities have a wide range of vehicles across their fleet, varying from light-duty cars, such as police cruisers and inspection vehicles, to medium and heavy-duty vehicles like box trucks, shuttles, and plow trucks. This fleet inventory is a helpful tool that municipalities can use to ensure a thoughtful and efficient approach when considering the transition to electric vehicles. The inventory must include at least 5 vehicles and have been completed on or after January 1st, 2023. Successful completion of this action is worth 200 points. Next slide, please. This slide contains several links to resources for CEC 3.0. These include the program website, videos of municipalities implementing CEC, the PON guidance document, a link to all the high impact action toolkits, information on the grant funding available in this round of the program, and a link to the disadvantaged communities map. This is also where I've added links to information on both the elective and direct pay offering, as well as the NYSERDA Flex Tech program. There are also links to the CEC High Impact Action portal, the Climate Smart Communities program website, and the NYSERDA community scorecards for every municipality in New York State. All of these hyperlinks are live and will take you to the correct page. Next slide, please. Perhaps your biggest resource for the CEC program, however, is me. If you take anything away from this presentation, please let it be that I'm here to help. I'm not only invested in the success of the CEC program, I'm genuinely invested in the success of every community I have the privilege of working with. I would love the opportunity to meet further and help bring match-free grant money into your community. I've also included the contact information for our Regional Climate Smart Communities Coordinator and my colleague at Genesee-Finger Lakes, Rachel Scudder. She's a phenomenal resource, and we often work in tandem to help communities maximize their participation in both programs. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions or need help getting started. As a reminder, the slide deck from tonight's webinar, as well as a link to this recording, will be distributed to all registrants. Please feel free to share these resources. Thank you again for joining us to learn more about the NYSERDA Clean Energy Communities Program version 3.0. We look forward to hearing from you.